Welcome to another PosterCentral.com video blog. I'm Pete Howard, Beatles fan, by the way, since 1964. Yes, saw The Sullivan Show. Older sister brought it into our house. I was lucky. Anyway, this is what in the hobby is called a one-off program for a Beatles show. Anytime you have a one-off for a major artist, it's pretty significant and cool because obviously only people from that show could have saved it. Otherwise, it wasn't. You can't find it. So this is from September of 1964. So obviously the big year the Beatles hit America. It's the ticket stub. You can see it's pretty black and white, sort of a plain ticket stub, but it's a stub. And then the program is pretty significant because it's just made for this show only. And the concert was billed, as you can see, An Evening with the Beatles, and it's a simple 4-page program. Just the inside and then the back. But what is so typical about pop music in '64, before it was taken really seriously, and the magnitude of the Beatles, and how this is such a mainstream event, it mostly talks about the charity services and the people on the committee, and all about the special needs kids charity services on the back here. And the Beatles are mentioned like in one sentence, other than being in the name of the show. It's kind of funny too. The show was co-hosted by Ed Sullivan and Stephen Eady. So people old enough will recognize that Steve Lawrence and Eddie Gourmet, who were as middle of the road or as mainstream as you could get, like Andy Williams or Nat King Cole or something, and yet they're co-hosting this this evening with Rock and Roll's Future. And I think this was the last show of their '64 tour. They went right back to England that night or the next day. And I think it's kind of interesting. One of the Beatles reference books, one of the great ones, The Complete Beatles Chronicle, mentions that, look at this, this is a charity gig, but the Beatles were as hot as a comet, right, in '64. Can you see the price on there? $1.50? I mean, talk about not taking advantage of. $1.50 is crazy, and the book mentions, Lewison's book mentions that fans were paying up to $100 for a ticket, right? They were flying back to England the next day. $100 now, of course, is nothing for a ticket, but I remember I paid $100 for a ticket in the late '70s for a Bruce Springsteen club date. That was 20 times face value, but $100 for this is 66 times face value. Now that's underpricing your tickets for a charity. I mean, can you think of any act today that goes out on the road? I mean, people are paying brokers 2, 3, 4, 5 times face value. Can you imagine paying 66 times face value for a ticket today? I don't care who the act is. And as long as we're on the subject of Beatle ticket stubs after the program there, I just have a couple of others here from, gotta get this right, from 65 and 66. So that was a 64, here's 65 and 66. Coincidentally, slow down Pete, they're both August 15th in different cities, but what I found funny is that even as big as the Beatles were, turning out 2 or 3 classic albums per year at this point, from 65 to 66, they couldn't even get a new picture of the boys. They just kept using the same picture in '66 that they did in '65, and I just think that's pretty crazy. That's why I'm showing you. Okay, that's it for the Beatles today. Thanks for coming by.